It was on 8th Avenue in Manhattan, where I was working at a shelter for homeless and runaway kids, that a mom walked in with a baby. And I was taken aback because most of the people there were young men, teenagers, 18, 19. And I didn't expect a young girl with a baby. I was really shocked, and I asked her, why is she here and how come you're here with your baby? Of course, I was asking also to help her. So she told me that when she first became pregnant, she was excited, she was happy, she thought her life would be different, it would be better. And then she said, when I told my boyfriend, the father of the child, he told me where to go to get rid of this thing. And she said, I felt so alone and depressed, I thought about killing myself. But I realized that I had a baby. Now, this was 1979. This girl hadn't seen a sonogram. She hadn't any great medical background, but she knew, as everybody knows, it's a baby. And that's just what she said. And then she said, I had my baby girl, and my mother said I should be out on my own like she was when she was a young mother. And she looked at me and she said, can you help me? Can you help us? She held up her daughter. And I said, yes, but I quickly found out because she was 17 and a half years old, there were no programs. There was no agency that would help her. There were programs for younger girls, younger mothers. But when you cross that line, got close to that line of being a adult at 18, her option was a rundown, rat-infested drug den called a welfare hotel. And I was shocked. I was there helping homeless kids in Times Square for about 5 years. And every year I saw more and more young women coming in who were pregnant, had children. Some of them were coming from Long Island, where I grew up. I could have gone to school with them. They certainly could have been my sister, my cousin. And I just thought, shouldn't somebody do something to help mothers and babies? So I finally turned to Father Benedict Rochelle, who I came to know, and he became my spiritual director. And I said, why doesn't somebody do something to help mothers and babies? And he was a Franciscan friar, also a psychologist. He had a long beard and a rope for his belt around his robe, sort of a cross between Moses and Freud, if you will. And he said, I'll help you if you want to do something. And it sounded like the voice of God. And I was really frightened then, because at that point I was 27 years old, single, never married. I hadn't changed that many diapers of my nieces at that time. But I did think if it was God asking us to do this, that he would help us. And that's how it started. We found an empty convent in Hoboken at the St. Francis Parish. And there in March of 1985, we opened the doors and started taking in women and children.